Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. This is our second run of our Motivational Mondays. Last month, our topic centered on the self-leader in you and finding your inner strength. Our speaker shared with us how to value time and effectively prioritize result-driven activities, anticipate challenges, and develop a less is more mentality. Today, our talk will focus on the three battle cry of pandemic: agility, flexibility, and adaptability. These three words became the battle cry of organizations as everyone scrambled to cope with the impact of the pandemic. The talk explores the essence of each of these, distinguishing the value of each from the others. We will explore their practical applications to the various facets of an organization's operation. Equally important, our speaker will help us explore the emotional dynamics of individuals in the organization as they struggle to accept or resist the rapid changes in the even more VUCA or volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world of business in the light of the pandemic. At the end of today's activity, we will all walk away with an awareness of how to manage and overcome one's hesitation in embracing change, helping us not just to cope, but thrive as we overcome the challenges that come with this change. Good morning, everyone. If you can see on your screen the QR code for our Viber community, VST ECS Enterprise News Viber community, kindly please scan the QR code. We would love to have you in the community. We use this as a platform to announce updates related to our commercial and enterprise products. We've also used this portal to announce some of our activities. Before we begin, let me just acknowledge the presence of Mark Anthony Antonio, our wholesale account manager from HP Philippines.
Morning, Kamau. Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Nagustuhan niyo ba yung video nila, Sir Celso?
Gusto ko nga may pangatlong run, Mau, kasi feeling ko, ang ganda ng umaga namin doon.
Ang ganda-ganda nyo nga eh. Yes. Okay. Lalo-lalo na si Jem.
May doktora pala doon, Mau, no? May doktora pala tayo kasama doon.
Yes. Yes. May doktora tayo dyan. Okay. And of course, our learning and development consultant, Igniter, he is our speaker for today, Sir Ron Jacobe. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Looking forward to our talk later. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. From VST ECS, we have Celso Ravina, our first AVP and General Manager, Corporate Business Group 1.
Good morning, partners. Good morning, everyone.
Shar Maglonzo, our Product Manager for HPR POS. Good morning, Shar. Kakanta ka ba, Shar, later?
Nakamute. Ayaw niyang kumanta.
Hindi daw po.
Hindi. Okay, so we'll have a surprise number na lang. Kunwari, hindi namin alam. No? So I'll just call you later. So make sure you prepare your piece. And Jem Sekian, our product manager for HP Workstations and Thin Clients.
Good morning, partners. Morning, Ron.
Jem, parang kakagising mo lang.
Hindi, sir. Bagong make-up lang.
Okay. Jem for Nia, our senior product manager, HP Commercial Notebooks.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sir Mal. Good morning, Sir Ron.
Good morning, Jem. And Myra Alejandro, product manager, HP Commercial Desktop.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, partners. Good morning, Sir Mal.
Good morning. And of course, our speaker who's going to talk about HPI commercial product and value PC, we have Jimar Lopez, our internal solutions engineer. Good morning, Jimar.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so to officially start the event, let me call on Sir Celso Ravina, our first AVP and General Manager for CBG Group 1 for the welcome remarks.
All right. Thank you, Mau. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, partners. Happy Monday. Ayan. So welcome to our second Motivation Monday. We had our first session last month, and this is our second month, as Mau mentioned. We're going to talk about, excuse me, agility, flexibility, adaptability. Ayan. So probably some of you have attended our previous sessions and slightly, narinig ko na yan, perhaps something like that you might say, no? But today we're going to have uh, a new friend from People Ignite who's going to talk about these topics, and I believe we're going to learn new things, new perspective. Okay, so please listen. Thank you. I know Monday it's alignment meetings. Probably some of you are still running after our April target, right? So, but thank you for spending your time, your Monday morning with us. Before I turn over the floor to our speaker, to you, Mao, and to our speaker, I would like to share, because over the weekend I was reading a book entitled Atomic Habits, and I want to share three chapter summaries that I have read so far, no, because this is somehow aligned with what we are doing. Okay, um, in the first chapter, it says, actually, I'm reading. I'm holding the book. This one, if you you can see, Okay, if you happen to drop by in Fully Book, you can easily see the book in the front store. Okay, Atomic Habits. The first summary, the first principle: if you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Is that something new to you? If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. That was something new to me, actually. Focus on your system instead. Okay, so I'm not going to elaborate on that one. It's kind of a fresh thought for me. Second chapter summary. Okay, the most effective way to change your habit or your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve. Again, focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. All right? Focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. And third chapter summary: the ultimate purpose of habits is to solve the problems of life with as little energy and effort as possible. So, ayan, that's why we're doing this kind of activity, Monday Motivations, because of course, partner, well, we just don't update you with all the technical specs, the new product lineup, all of those, which is important. Actually, don't get me wrong, these are all important. But of course, we also want to integrate why we're doing all these things, because we also want to enable you, our partners, no, so that easily, yeah, we can solve life problems easier or easily. Okay, with as little energy and effort as possible. Okay, so ayan, introduction pa lang, hopefully they learn something. So again, thank you, partners, for joining. To those who log in early, merong kasabihan, no? Early bird gets the early worm. So hope you get to win in the raffle later on. Again, welcome everyone, and thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Sir Celso. I thought you said a while ago that if you happen to drop by at my area, I'm going to give you a copy of the book.
Yeah, I'm going to lend them after I read completely.
Okay, I'll definitely drop by at your workstation later and learn from the nuggets that you've shared with us a while ago. Yeah, very interesting take. No, focus on
focus not on what you want to achieve,
yes, but
who you
wish to become. Yes, and then yung last part is more on maximizing your resources. No,
yeah,
least amount of resources. Okay, so let's move on. We have an opening, rather a welcome message from Mark Antonio as well from HP. Good morning, Mark.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. So, yeah, I'm Mark Anthony Antonio. I'm a distributor account manager at HP Managing VST. So again, I'm glad that everyone is here to join us on a Monday morning. So I would like to give you a brief background about HP and what do HP is doing about cybersecurity, especially now that we are in a hybrid work environment. You must be aware of what HP machines can do to keep your data safe and secure. HP was founded in 1939 by engineers Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard. HP Inc. today is a global technology company that believes one thoughtful idea has the power to change the world. Okay, so its product and services portfolio of personal systems, printers, and 3D printing solutions helps bring these ideas to life. HP is a trusted voice in the ever-changing cybersecurity landscape. Our decades of security research and development means we can tackle current and emerging threats, while our cutting-edge technology and industry-leading experts guide the way to a more secure, resilient future. This is vital as the threat landscape is growing increasingly hostile, particularly for enterprise targeted by cybercriminals, seeking to monetize stolen data and access to compromised systems. Endpoints such as laptops, printers, and mobile phones are the first line of defense to the data and resources we care about most. HP has also a malware lab that investigates notable malware campaigns isolated by the HP Wolf security so that security teams can better understand the threat landscape and defend their environments. Finally, we have HP Wolf Security, our unified software portfolio for customers focused on delivering comprehensive endpoint protection and cyber resiliency. Rooted in zero trust principles, HP Wolf Security combines hardware-enforced software and security features with industry-leading endpoint security services. This helps organizations to defend against both known and unknown threats, even zero-day vulnerabilities. The mass shift to remote work for the last 18 months created unprecedented challenges for security teams, organizations, and as the working world now goes hybrid, new challenges will continue to evolve. Growing number of employees have been buying and connecting unsanctioned devices to work networks without notifying IT departments, and it's becoming harder for IT security teams to monitor user behavior, potentially exposing organizations to threats. It remains far too easy for attackers to bypass enterprise defenses and compromise devices by tricking users into clicking malicious email attachments and links. Once an attacker has compromised one endpoint in common goal, is to move laterally across the network to access valuable systems and data. In most organizations, spotting intrusions relies on detection, which attackers spend significant time and resources evading. Organizations should focus on reducing the attack surface and enabling quick recovery in the event of a compromise. This means following the zero trust principles, applying strong identity management, limiting privileges, and adopting isolation technologies from the hardware level. For example, micro-virtualization isolates files and links from common attack vectors such as emails and web browsers so that potential malware or exploits lurking within are contained and rendering them harmless. All of these features are available on all of our HP machines. All you need to do is to trust HP. I hope everyone has learned a few knowledge and tips about security that you can share to your customers as well. Thank you and have a nice day and keep safe. Sir Mal, back to you.
Thank you, Mark. Indeed, security is now a major priority among organizations. while technology continue to evolve, cyber criminals, they continue to evolve as well. In fact, some corporate networks have been infiltrated using machine learning. So this is just a picture of how the pandemic actually created a cyber pandemic, and thank you for highlighting how HP hardware are loaded with security features to really protect identities, not just humans, but machines as well. Okay. Let's move on to the presentation from Jimar. He is our internal solutions engineer. He is going to talk about HPI commercial product and value PC. Partners, if you have questions, feel free to use the chat window for your questions, and we are going to ask our product experts or product managers, including Mark and Jimar, to address them. Take it away, Jimar.
Thank you, Sir Mau. Okay, so to start, again, partners, thank you so much for joining here for our Monday Motivation. And to start with our presentation, just again to give you an idea about our HP products and what happened to HP. Okay, so in one of the biggest corporate breakups in Silicon Valley history, in roughly 75 years ago, about the split of HPE and HPI. Okay, and would have data HPE. Okay, will build upon HP's leading position in servers, storage, networking, converged system, and software, while our HPI or HPE will be the leading personal system and printing company with a strong roadmap into the most exciting new technologies like 3D printing and new computing experience. Okay, and for our products for HPI, we have HP Commercial Desktop, which our ProDesk 400, ProDesk 600, and Elite Desk 800. So each of this model has their own form factors. So we have small form factor, we have micro tower, desktop mini, and also all-in-one. So, but this time we will focus for our all-in-one, and our all-in-one PC is designed to look sleek and elegant with clean lines that make it suitable for front store desk or an open office space for space-constrained work environment. And our client can choose from 20 inches, 21.5, or even 24 inches display. So for our focus product for our HP Commercial Desktop is our HP Pro One 400. It is a 24 inches all-in-one that are designed to look sleek and elegant. And for our one of the advantage of our all-in-one to our competitor is its available ports. One is we have pop-up camera, as you can see in the screen. So these pop-up cameras are one of the security features of our all-in-one for security purposes. We also have optional optical disk drive, standard cable lock, lock slot, HDMI ports, and RJ45. And for our ports, some of our clients asking how many USB Type-A ports are there. So as you can see, we have 4 USB Type-A ports available in our Pro One 400. And there also have 2 USB Type-A at the side. We also have 1 HDMI and display port for dual display or another extra display or monitor that our clients want to request. It has also an adjustable height stand, or we also have fixed height stand, or even no stand with VESA plate. So our clients can do a configuration based on their requirement. It has also a dual speaker with USB Type-C, and this 24 inches display is an IPS Full HD display with optional in-cell touch native low blue light, non-touch variant display. Okay, and not only that, since we mentioned earlier that it has a pop-up camera, this camera is capable of 1 megapixel to up to 5 megapixel IR sensors and dual microphones. So if our clients want a device for all-in-one that can use for Windows Hello, yes, we can apply, or we can offer our HP Pro 1400. For the height adjustable, it can adjust up to 130 millimeters, and for the display can tilt 20 degree backward and 5-degree forward tilt. Now, for the technologies that we have in our HP Pro 1400, that first, definitely powerful performance with the latest processor that we have for desktop is the Intel 10th Gen processor. We for also the business grade chipset for the latest motherboard or Intel's commercial class Q470 chipset at the motherboard. Proven durability since it passed the durability of having military grade standard test and HP total test process, and as well as the wireless fast wireless experience. So for the fast wireless experience, what we boast here is the Wi-Fi 6 and the previous generation of Wi-Fi 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radio bands. And right now for the Wi-Fi 6, actually right now for the latest model, we also have Wi-Fi 6E. So this device is one that is capable of operating on the 6 gigahertz band. Okay, so before we have 2.4, we have 5 gigahertz, and right now we have 6 gigahertz. Now you might ask, what is the difference between the 6 gigahertz and Wi-Fi 6E device? Okay, so just to give you an idea, so the Wi-Fi 6E devices can take full advantage of the bandwidth spectrum and the speed improvement of the 6 gigahertz without competing with any non-6E devices. So the connection, the bandwidth will not compromise, even though our device connected to a 6E and the other are not 6E capable, hindi po maapektuhan yung bandwidth and yung speed. Okay, so hindi maagaw or basta wala po magiging problema dun sa connection natin sa Wi-Fi if the device has a Wi-Fi 6E. Okay, and speaking of Wi-Fi 6E, one of the device that adapts this Wi-Fi 6 capability is our HP commercial notebook. So here's our portfolio for our HP commercial notebook. We have HP 200 series, HP 400, HP 600, and EliteBook 600 and EliteBook 800. Kasi nga naman, di ba po, when we talk about mobility, it's not just going to somewhere and work, but wherever we go, we work with confidence and securing your data, not only with our partners as well. You don't need to go to any cafe to utilize their network. We are 4G and 5G ready, extending the boundaries of where we can work, or with our fast and always secured connectivity solution to ensure that our client can keep going throughout the day. And our HP devices have long battery life and HP fast charge. And to give you an update as well, HP refreshed its mid and entry tier EliteBook 800 and EliteBook 600 series with the G9 for 2022. And that is the model that we will focus right now. It's our HP EliteBook 600 G9. So this laptop is an upcoming computing model from technology brand focused on providing professionals with access to a powerful option that is perfect enhancing productivity. Excuse me. So this model, the HP EliteBook 600 G9, has Intel standard manageability, remote configuration, enables remote configuration and the ability to manage devices that are crashed or powered down. It has also Intel hardware shield. HP Sure Start provides enhanced security, And also, our HP Sure starts built on Intel security tools with additional capabilities. Okay, I'll just give you a minute. All right. Next is our Wi-Fi connectivity or the fast efficient wireless LAN. And also stay connected with the Wi-Fi fidelity 6 and 6E. And not only that, our device is capable of 4G LTE for connection scenarios that our clients looking for a device that don't need to connect to any public Wi-Fi. So we can add or we can put a 4G SIM card for the source of the connectivity. And free move around, since this device is a mobile device that can carry anywhere. Okay. One of the advantage of our HP Elite Book 600 is the HP AI-based noise reduction. Allow me to share this one to you. Just give me a moment. Can you hear the sound? Hello? Sorry po, narinig po ba?
Wala, Gmar.
Yes
Gmar,
po,
wala.
naririnig po.
Dimar, can you please share sound? Yeah. There's no audio with your video.
Just give me a moment po.
All right.
All right. So there. Here. Just give me a moment, please. I will share my screen and then reshare again.
All right. Okay. So stop sharing, and then before you share your screen again, make sure to tick that share sound option.
Because I'm wearing a mask, my voice become muffled. Let me turn on our algorithm.
All right. So narinig po.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So as you heard, guys, our partners, about the voice of this the video that I played. Ito yung mga kumbaga parang experience natin during this virtual discussion or meeting, na lalo na kapag nasa meeting tayo na naka-mask, there are some scenarios na hindi tayo naiintindihan. Okay, so allow me to play it.
Because I'm wearing a mask, my voice become muffled. Let me turn on our algorithm.
All right, so please hear the difference when we are using HP AI-based noise reduction with HP Clear Voice.
Okay, now it's on. And this new algorithm can enhance voice quality in any situation which causes muffled voice. We believe this new algorithm can bring users better experience for wearing a mask in a conference call.
All right, so that is the difference, having the HP Clear Voice with a seamlessly communicate, collaborate, and connect, bringing together the HP super resolution and also for temporal noise reduction and giving hear and be heard with HP AI noise reduction with HP Clear Voice. So those are the technologies that we have for our latest model. And not only that, we're not only flexing the technology that we have, but also the security. One of the important matter for us is the security itself. And we're not just only protecting the device, but also protecting the information of our client. In other words, this is another layer of security. So although we know that our clients have their own security software, security devices that install in the device, but it is also better to have a security application or security hardware, another layer of security in our HP devices. We have above DOS, security protect, these are the security that protects our device in DOS and below DOS. And when talking about notebooks or mobile, especially in terms of security, we also have one of the powerful notebook that we have, which is the HP SafeBook Power. Okay, so our HP SafeBook Power is HP's most affordable mobile workstation. So our HP SafeBook Power won the Red Dot Award for its sleek and high quality design. So this Red Dot Award is recognized a high design quality. Okay, it is an international jury only awards this sought after seal of quality to products that features an outstanding design. So for mostly of our target user for our SafeBook Power are highly esteemed student who needs raw performance to handle 2D workflows and basics special effects. So it can also capable of working 3D work in a PC that is adaptable, stylish, and friendly to a student budget. So what's new with our SafeBook Power? SafeBook Power is certified, secured, and supported. Certified by our ISV's partners. So any application or ISV software that we install in our SafeBook Power, definitely there will be no problem. Durable with premium touch, since our SafeBook Power passed the military grade standard test and HP total test process and power through intensive workflow. So our SafeBook Power is capable of handling NVIDIA RTX 8000 graphics, one of the performance graphics known for its high-intensive performance, 3D rendering, and also the speed will not be compromised because of its 11th gen processor capability, 64 gig memory with a 3200 megahertz speed. Okay. For our SafeBook Power, we also have this number of ports. Some of our clients asking for what are the ports available for our devices. So giving you or sharing you the idea of the ports available for our SafeBook Power. We have 3 USB Type A, USB 3.1 Gen 1, USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4. So this is not just only an ordinary Type-C, but this is a USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4. RJ45, and also the smart card reader. So the smart card reader might ask, what's the purpose of this? One of the reason of the smart card is for secure multi-factor login. Okay, so for security purposes as well. All right, just to give you an idea for the graphics card that we have for the SafeBook Power G8, we have the NVIDIA T600 4 gig, NVIDIA T1200, and NVIDIA A2000 4 gig. So these are the graphics card available for our SafeBook Power. So HP integrates NVIDIA and AMD latest architecture that provides solution alternative for best class graphics performance. Okay. And next for our product is the HP Engage Mobile solution. This HP Engage Mobile solution is one of our latest model. Before we have the Engage Go, actually it is a 12 inches display, but for the latest one that we have, it is an Engage Go 10. Okay. So we're flexing this one because of HP's brief product that we can offer commercial leverage with our with other product, and it really provides retail customer everything they need from the front store to the back and everything in between. So from traditional to mobile devices, HP is reinventing the customer experience with technology solutions that empower employees and engage customer. So the Engage Go, built to deliver across today's demanding business landscape, and the Engage Go 10 is easily transitioned from all-in-one system to mobile tablet. Okay, so it's durable, secure, ideally sized, and integrates essential accessories to our clients, can seamlessly conduct business where and how they need it. So for our Engage Go 10, from traditional retail POS solution are pretty familiar to most people, and they are usually counter-based and can vary in looks, size, and functionality. However, more and more retailers are becoming familiar with tablet-based POS. And customers are trying to figure out if mobile POS is right for them. So the benefit of mobile solution includes enabling store associate to engage customer without leaving the customer side, scanning and inventory management, and the flexibility to be anywhere in the store, not tied to the counter. So those are the things that the end user don't want to happen. So mobility solution help reduce the frustration of checkout wait time with line busting mobile cashiers who can scan barcodes and swipe credit cards or tablet. So if the customer wants a mobile-based solution but isn't ready to commit a tablet, okay, HP offers a category of products referred to as a convertible solution. It offers the flexibility of mobility and traditional counter-based terminal. So, ganito po ang itsura niya. Okay, so from traditional display nakakonect sa ating Engage Go dock to tablet based do sa requirement or do sa gusto ni client. So, but to be flexible, this convertible system easily transitioned from all-in-one to a lightweight, powerful tablet. Count on a durable device that is IP54 rated, highly secure, and ideally sized, running Windows or Android OS. So, and HP Engage Go is enable you to deliver faster and more convenient service to our guests, from table-side ordering and payment to curb-serve check-in. So we also have HP Engage Go tilt mount. So mount to wall or counter using the Engage Go height adjustable pole. We also have Engage Go fixed mount. Quickly attach and detach the Engage Go mobile from the mount using the HP Smart Dock. We also have Engage Go dock. Quickly and easily docking experience with HP Easy Dock and HP Engage Go height adjustable pole. Simply attach the device to the pole through the optional HP Engage Go tilt mount. And another accessories that we have is the Engage Go 10 case, 4-foot drop protection, full access to all ports and docking connectors. We also have the Engage Go 10 rug case, up to 6-foot drop protection, IP65 rated, and rotating hand strap. We also have the Engage Go 10 multi-charger, 4 units per station and individual LED status. Use with or without case. Okay. So with that, those are the latest update that we have for our HP commercial and value PC product. So to sum it up, HP delivers solution that you can trust, from industry-leading security and our focus on sustainability to our global presence and durability that's built in every devices. In closing, in an ever-changing world, HP Inc. keeps reinventing itself, its technologies, and what the tomorrows hold. So industry, communities, and individuals can keep reinventing how they operate, ideate, and create what matters most to them. For this, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimar. Partners, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to our product managers. I call them the big three. Tama, Sir Celso?
May humahabol yata, Mawe. So,
okay. The big three ang tayo. Okay, so Jem Piamonte, Jem Sekian, and Myra Alejandro. Easier that way, no? The big three. So mas madaling tandaan.
Parang
okay,
NBA
partners
lang.
again. Come again, Sir Celso?
Parang NBA lang, may big three din tayo.
Yes. Ganun talaga. We will now move on to the meat of today's event. And it is my honor to call on our speaker, Ron Jacobe. He's a learning and development consultant igniter. Our speaker, Ron, has over 25 years of corporate experience nationally and internationally across multicultural industries. He is a multi-awarded public speaker, including being the international speech champion in Dubai during the Gulf Toastmasters annual convention. Ron's areas of expertise include developing, executing, and managing training and learning development programs for human resource advancement, with specialization and innate passion on customer service and customer experience across all levels of organizations. He is an organizational leadership, personal development, and effectiveness trainer and coach. Good morning, Sir Ron. Take it away, Sir Ron.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Now, just very quickly before we proceed, we are going to be talking about AFA, or agility, flexibility, and adaptability. May I ask everybody, may I ask my colleague, by the way, may I introduce my colleague, Ina. Hello, Ina. Can you say hi?
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ina. Can you please type in, Ina, in the chat box, a marker? Please, can you type in what I value most? Thank you very much. Now for that, our partners, may I ask you, of the three words, agility, flexibility, and adaptability, which of these do you value most right now in your job, in your life, as you are? Go ahead. Can you please share your answers? Do you value agility more, or flexibility more, or adaptability more? Can you share your answers? There you are. Ina, what are you seeing so far?
Hi, sir. So I'm seeing majority are answering flexibility, and it's followed closely by adaptability.
Thank you. Now let us see, you have your own reasons for doing that. Now let us see if you will keep the same opinion later on as we go on our talk. Now let us continue. Certainly, these three words, agility, flexibility, and adaptability, became the battle cry, especially when the pandemic descended upon us and as everybody scrambled to cope. But today, we will see and examine the distinction amongst these three, because there's certainly value in doing that. Now, let's start with agility. Now, what exactly is agility? What we'll do a very simple exercise, ladies and gentlemen. I will be showing you images on the screen, and I will be asking you which of these images represent each of these words. Now, Ina, can you give me a marker, please, for agility? Or everybody, here are the images. you see a cheetah, you see a cityscape, you see an athlete, a biplane, a yoga instructor perhaps, bamboos, hot air balloons, gymnast, trees. This is a sloth, an amphibian bus, a man jogging in the snow, a parent and child in an argument perhaps, or a lockdown, a man on a couch looking like he's watching TV, snail, a chameleon, and a set of straws. Now, everyone, Ina, can you give us a marker for agility? Can you please type in which of these images symbolizes agility? Go ahead. What are you seeing, Ina?
Right, everyone is answering here. Okay, most are answering cheetah. I'm also seeing athlete, bus, gymnast, and a few more answers of athlete.
Thank you very much. Now, certainly, you have mentioned some of those images, but if we are to look carefully at the definition of agility, which is ability to move quickly and easily, i.e., though he was without formal training as dancer or athlete, his physical agility was inexhaustible. Another definition says ability to think and understand quickly, i.e., the agile team learned to use the new software in half a day. So, which images? Let us see if you all agree. So cheetah, you can certainly agree with that. The athlete, certainly. The gymnast, certainly. The biplane, as it moves, faster and allows us to travel faster, I suppose. And then the cityscape, because of the speed of the traffic, or at least when there's no heavy traffic, at least. But as implied there, the moving traffic, or the moving economy, at least. But the thing which defines agility very, very specifically, aside from being able to accomplish things, is quickness, the speed. Now, the question, ladies and gentlemen, is, are you agile? Because it is possible that you're flexible. It is possible that you adapt. Certainly, congratulations if you do. You are able to accomplish things. But the question is, are you able to do it fast? Are you able to do it in time? Sabi nga nila, nagawa mo na nga, pero anong petsa na? Especially with the fast movement of the world of business, are you able to cope fast and quickly? Are you able to make decisions fast, quickly? Are you able to move stocks quickly in time? That is the challenge for agility, being able to move fast. Now, let's move on to flexibility. Ina, can you give us a marker? Now, will you tell us which of these images speak of flexibility? What answers are we seeing, Ina?
Right, I'm seeing here a lot of people are answering yoga. I'm also seeing gymnast, chameleon, straw, athlete, sloth. A couple more answers on yoga, straw, and gymnast.
Thank you very much. Now, if you are to look at the definition of flexibility, it says the quality of bending easily without breaking. Yes, you may be able to bend, but if you break, you are not flexible. Without breaking, without getting damaged, without the organization collapsing. For example, players gain improved flexibility in their ankles. Another definition goes, the ability to be easily modified. For example, I am glad you are flexible with our budget. Final definition, willingness to change or compromise. Management has shown flexibility in applying its policy. So, with these definitions, these therefore are the images of flexibility. And I am very, very glad you are probably one of the few groups who included the sloth. Because normally when you think of agility, flexibility, adaptability, one wouldn't think of the sloth. But remember, the sloth is able to flex, albeit quite slowly. Now, agility is distinct from flexibility in that agility demands quickness. But flexibility in itself, it is important to learn a lesson from the sloth. There are certain things which we must not hurry. There are areas of our operation which certainly you need to move very, very fast for, but there are certain areas where you need to be more careful and you need to give it more time. And such would be the lesson from the sloth. Now, another lesson, by the way, which the straw would give us about flexibility, if I may just point out, is that it allows you to direct by flexing, by bending. It allows you to direct resources from the source to the destination or to the correct projects that you want to funnel your energies towards or your resources towards. So keep that in mind about flexibility. And by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm speaking quite fast, it is because we are compressing at least a half day topic into just 45 minutes. So please bear with me as we go through this quite fast, quite in a very, very agile way, if I may say so. Now, so understandably, okay, another lesson as well, though, that we might want to consider is being able to bring your resources where, well, similar to the straw, is that of a snail. One would not think of the snail when you think of AFA, but remember, the snail is also very flexible, and especially in the fact that it can bring with it its home, its resources, wherever it needs to go. So that is also something to think about in flexibility. Are you able to move your operation where you need it? That is flexibility. Now, I understand that these are the images that you think of, but there are more. Take, for example, the trees. I understand we wouldn't automatically think of trees as flexible, especially focusing on the trunks as the image shows us. But there's a very, very important lesson that the trees can give us about flexibility. That there are parts which should be made flexible, the branches, the leaves, but there are parts which must remain stable. These are the foundations of the organization, the foundations of the operation. What could these be? We will talk about that later. Now, another image of flexibility here, which you might not consider for flexibility, is the cityscape. How? The buildings themselves. Yes, like the trees, the buildings have foundations which must remain stable, even rigid. You might even use the word rigid. But do you know that buildings, especially the skyscrapers, those which go higher than 20 floors, higher than 30, 40, 50 floors, these buildings actually sway up to a certain degree. Did you know that? Like, I am right now in my condominium unit and I am at the 47th floor. And I remember during the last typhoon Ulysses last December 2021, we have many of our neighbors who lived in a high-rise for the first time and they were quite frightened. Anong nangyari, lumilindol ba? Bakit nag-move ang building? Because yes, the building was swaying ever so slightly, but for those who are sensitive, you can feel that. And for those who have hanging lights or fixtures or chandeliers, you can see them swaying a little bit. Exactly so, the buildings are designed to sway a little bit so that they don't crack. If they are too rigid, they crack. Think about the bamboo, right? So again, later on, we are going to talk about which parts of the operation should be flexible, but which parts should remain really stable. Now, there is one more photo, which is an image of flexibility. Can you name it? Can you identify the photo? One last photo. Can you type in the chat box? One last photo? Anybody? None? It is this, the hot air balloon. Oh, is there an answer? What are the answers, Ina?
Okay, sir, the answers that were sent are chameleon, man jogging, and someone answered the balloon.
Yeah, the hot air balloon. Now let's focus on the hot air balloon. Thank you very much. The flexibility that the hot air balloon demonstrate is the ability to expand to be able to take in more and do its job. Do you remember the time when we were new in the job and we were given so much things to do, assigned tasks, and we were having difficulty doing them in the given time? But now, as years passed, we can take in more volume of work without really breaking, and we're able to accomplish them all in a short amount of time. Such is flexibility. Perhaps a best way to demonstrate flexibility is, you might be wondering, we have a situation, you know this, Filipinos send OFWs to the Middle East. Do you know that in the Middle East, some 10 years ago, there's at least only 30% of the employees of an organization there are locals. 70% are from overseas. Can you imagine here in the Philippines, if you are doing that, your organization right now, if you're doing that, hiring only 30% Filipinos and then importing from abroad all other employees from with other nationalities? Why did they do that? Why do they continue to do that? To give it very, very simple. A very, very simple job of merchandising in a grocery store. 3 lines of shelves being given to a local. Can you fix this, get this done? They'll probably take 1 week. Give it to a Filipino. Filipino gets it done in a short amount of time, just in 3 hours. Why is that? It's the ability to take on so much job. It's the training that we have. But by the way, they are continuously training their locals, their citizens, such that they are targeting at a certain time in the future. They don't need to import manpower anymore. But at the moment, they do need that because the capacity of their citizens to take on a volume of job is quite limited. So again, back to our discussion here. Flexibility is also about being able to expand, to take on more responsibilities. And this certainly happened during the pandemic, when some of our colleagues are unable to report to the office or do their job before we were able to make the work from home arrangements. And some of us actually had to take on their jobs, their tasks. Were you flexible enough to do that without breaking? Were you able to deliver? Were you able to rise to the occasion? Right? And also we know that some of us lost some of our colleagues, either because we need to let go, the organization needs to let go of some of the manpower, or because some of our colleagues were suddenly taken away by COVID. And quite immediately, we need to be able to take on their jobs. Were you flexible? Were you agile to take on their jobs quickly? But were you flexible such that you did not break, even as the volume of work needed from you got bigger? Were you able to expand? That is also flexibility. Now, we have already talked about 2 of these words. Agility, it's the speed. Are you fast? We've talked about flexibility. Are you able to bend? But do you bend the right things? Are you able to channel your resources where you need them? Are you able to bring your resources where you need them? Are you able to expand your capabilities? Think about that as a person, you as an individual, but also as an organization, as a team, your business unit, or the organization as a whole. And then finally, let us talk about adaptability. Ina, can you give us a marker? Everyone, which images here are images of adaptability? Go ahead. Ina, what answers are you seeing?
Okay, we have water, bus, chameleon, hot air balloon, snail, athlete. A lot more are also answering chameleon.
Thank you very much. Now let us look at the definition of adaptability. Here you go, the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. Especially the pandemic, when it came upon us, certainly brought in a lot of new conditions, brought us to very, very new conditions. Whatever the season, whatever the market situation, we shall continue to efficiently facilitate transactions of our clientele. Another definition, the capacity to be modified for a new use or purpose. Our meeting rooms can be converted to accommodate essential employees' overnight rest places to minimize travel during the pandemic. So that is adaptability. Ladies and gentlemen, let us see. Now, here are the images of adaptability. Now, the biplane, because planes are supposed to just fly, but now they have been modified such that they can fly and they can also land on the water. Snail, because wherever it needs to go, it brings its house with it. Bringing your resources is also about adaptability. The bus is supposed to only travel on land, but now it is modified such that it can also float on water. That's the amphibian bus. And of course, the trees, adaptability, because there is a specific lesson of the trees when it comes to adaptability. There are trees, or many, many trees in winter places shed their leaves during winter. Now, the leaves' main purpose in the life of a tree is that they create food by photosynthesis. You know, they convert the sun into food. But during the winter, why do they shed many of the leaves, if not all of the leaves? It is about because the leaves also utilize resources, utilize energy, utilize nutrients. So what the tree needs to do, because at that time it has to minimize its consumption of the nutrients, what it does, it needs to shed the leaves. Compared to our organization, as an analogy, there are certain times in the year where we need to stop certain operations, where we need to pause certain operations. We schedule them on different seasons so that they do not consume the resources of the organization. That is adapting as well, right? And of course, the buildings, as we are able to live in different kinds of climate and weather conditions, it's because of our buildings we're able to adapt. Of course, the chameleon, self-explanatory because it can change its colors and adapt and blend. But the man, there is a very, very important lesson that the man represents, jogging on a winter time. Now, again, the human body is supposedly not designed to thrive in a cold climate. We are warm-blooded animals, and we're supposed to thrive only in tropical or warm climates. But man is able to survive in the cold by using tools. Again, utilizing resources, the jacket, the mittens, or under thermal pants, and so on, bonnet and everything, gloves to protect ourselves. So adaptability, sorry, adaptability is also about being able to utilize resources such that we can live or thrive in new conditions, such as the pandemic, new condition. We had to move very, very, very fast to use technology, our resources, our tools, so that we can continue our operation. Right. Are we making sense so far? Everybody, can you just unmute yourselves? Can you just give me a yes? Hello, everyone? Are we making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And the challenge again for every one of us is, battle cry is always be agile, be adaptable, be flexible, but it's kind of mixed all together. But now that we have distinguished one from the other, agile, are you fast enough? Do you move in time? Are you able to move ahead of the competition? Flexibility, are you able to bend without breaking? Are you able to move resources, funnel resources to where they are needed? Are you able to expand your capabilities? But also, do you flex only the necessary parts, but keep the foundations intact and rigid and stable? What are they? We'll talk about them in a while. And then adaptable, of course, are you able to thrive in new conditions when there are changes? Now, let's continue. Especially now, in a world of VUCA, you've heard of this: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. In a world of VUCA, all the more that we are called to flex, to be flexible, all the more that we are called to adapt. But in doing so, let us be agile, let us be fast, let us beat the competition. But another way of looking at this really is, you need to be agile, you need to flex. So ultimately, the goal is to adapt. because of the new conditions, the changing business climate. You need to flex so you can adapt. You need to do it fast and on time. You need to be ahead of competition. But again, as we said, which parts? There are parts which should remain your core constant. These are your foundations. These should be stable. And then there are parts or aspects of the operation which should be AFA. What are these? Starting from your products, your services, policies, systems and procedures, goals and objectives, philosophy, mission, vision. All right? Which one should be stable? Now, starting here from the bottom, the vision, mission, philosophy, goals, and objectives, these should be your core constant. These are not things which change every second. Now, there's a line starting the goals and objectives, because you start your goal, you set your goals and objectives like annually or every 5 years, but then you review that every year, whether you need to adjust. Certainly when the pandemic hit, we need to re-examine and recalibrate our goals and objectives. But your vision, mission, and philosophy, this is something that should remain constant. For example, VST ECS vision is to be the best and most admired technology partner in the Philippines. No matter what happens, even if pandemic hits us, that should not change. Your mission is to enable every partner and deliver technology to help organizations transform their businesses. That should not change. That's your foundation. Your philosophy, technology is a tool, but it is people that makes the difference. Now that should not change. That should be something that is stable. Moment here. Share. Whereas your goals and objectives should be generally be stable, but it is something that you will revisit from time to time, especially with the forces of the market changing every year or so. Now, here's a caveat for your policy systems and procedures. This is where the struggle is very real, because your systems and procedures are supposed to be set ways of doing things that you can copy and paste. If you have a new branch, opening a new branch, the new branch does not have to imagine, oh, how are we going to operate? No. You don't have to imagine how. Just copy what you already have and paste it there. So that is supposed to be something which is stable. But if it doesn't make sense anymore, you also need to change that quite fast. Now, the policies are supposed to be set, because every time there are problems, the policies are supposed to be the basis. How do we deal with these problems? Are we going to allow this or not? Are we going to allow the exchange or not? Are we going to accept the return or not? You go back to the policy. So that should also be pretty stable. But if they do not make sense anymore, then that should also change. So these are really very serious struggles for every organization. How about your organization, right? But services and products, oh, they can change very, very, very fast. If the products do not sell anymore, change it. If the services it's not valuable for the consumers anymore, change it. That's very important, right? But again, vision, mission, philosophy, no, you don't change that every time, unless you're already changing your business at the top there. Like there were businesses which totally closed down during the pandemic and they reopened. They have the same people, they utilize the same office, maybe even the same plant. Unless you change your business altogether, then maybe you will need to revisit your vision, mission, and philosophy. But otherwise, they remain stable. Are we making sense here, ladies and gentlemen? Do I hear a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, these are things which we need you to reflect upon. But here's the deal. Mag-aminan tayo. When change happens, when there's a demand for us to cope with change, when there's a demand for us to also change. It can be difficult. We resist. And sometimes we understand that the change is needed, but why is it difficult for us to cope right away? What's preventing us from being agile, in being flexible and being adaptable? Now, at this part, let us do a little bit of introspection. And here we are going to talk about a nugget, a sub-module of emotional intelligence. Now here, we're going to talk about emotional resilience. And why is that? You will understand in a moment. Now, let me share to you this very, very quick story of this lawyer patient of Dr. Antonio Damasio. Brilliant lawyer. Brain can take in so much information. He met an accident, almost died, but he survived. But one part of his brain got damaged. That part where you see the yellow dot, the part which connects the brain to the spinal cord to the rest of the body, it is in fact the amygdala. The effect on the lawyer is this. Still brilliant, can remember, can memorize all the facts of the case, but when they ask him, so how do we proceed? What do you like to do? What's your decision? None. There's no decision. It is almost like he knows all of the different kinds of food, burger, spaghetti, all kinds of food, sinigang, whatever. But when asked, so which food do you like to eat? None. Which do you like? None. Damage to amygdala killed the part of him which tells him what he wants or does not want. Now, there's another case, the case of Phineas Gage, a very level-headed man. Kung may nag-aaway, nagkakagulo-gulo, he's the person who can make everybody go, guys, let's settle down, let's calm down, let's discuss this, logically, let's maintain harmony. He's the go-to guy, Phineas Gage. But he met an accident, an explosion actually of a dynamite, and one rod, bakal, tumusok sa harap ng kanyang utak. Damaged his prefrontal cortex. The effect on Phineas Gage, he survived, he lived, but the effect on him was when he gets angry, like walang control, totally no control at all. What he wants, he wants. What he doesn't like, he doesn't like. What he wants to do, he wants to do. It's just like totally different Phineas Gage. Very explosive. Now that revealed an understanding of the brain. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala plays different parts in our psyche. The amygdala is primitive. It's for survival, fight or flight. This is the part of our brain which we share with the primates, with the monkeys, the apes, the gorillas. Pareho tayong mga humans, tayong mga Homo sapiens, katulad nila, may amygdala. And it is very primitive and it's fight or flight. Ibig sabihin, kasi para sa kanila, the time when we were still cavemen, pag may dumating na papatay sa atin na hayop, talagang either we bomb, we fight, or we go on a flight, we run. So it's instinctive. Wala nang isip-isip pa. Pag may nakita ka, di ba, takbo ka kaagad. No? And it is sensitive. It is very sensitive. It is what makes you angry or makes you tampo or makes you agitated or makes you happy also. No? It's unreasonable. Gusto ko eh. Diba? It is the part of us where sinabi nang hindi kasama sa budget yan. Gusto ko talagang bili. Ayun, gumastos na naman. It's unreasonable. And it's impulsive, yes. And it's indulgent. That is the amygdala. It is designed to make you survive and it's designed for pleasure or it's designed to fight. No, it's biased, by the way. Kahit, bakit mo kinakainisin ng tao? Bakit ko maintindihan? Basta inis lang talaga ako sa mukha niyan. No? On the other hand, the prefrontal cortex is highly evolved. It is reasonable. It is logical and analytical. It is calculative. It doesn't mean that the prefrontal cortex will prevent you from getting angry. but it will make you angry just at the right degree, just so you can get what you want. It is calculative. It is calm also. It is the one which tempers the amygdala. It is impulse control. That is the part of our brain na nagkaroon ang Homo sapiens, ang human being, na na-developed compared to the primates, compared to the gorillas. That's what makes us the human beings that we are. The prefrontal cortex. Now, the question is, how does this all work? First, let's understand the gateway to the brain, the thalamus. Diyan unang pumapasok yung information. Either the information is by sight, by sound, by hearing, or by taste, or by touch. Diyan unang pumapasok. So let us see the anatomy of the normal brain process. Unang, the anatomy of an emotional hijack. Let's understand the difference. Now, what happens here, ang normal brain process po is ganito, no? Pag nakita natin, halimbawa, bigay tayo ng example, ahas. Unang pasok, pagkakita natin ng ahas, immediately ganito po ang nangyayari. Again, ulitin ko po ang arrows. Can you see the arrows? Immediately, may impulse kaagad, konti, papunta sa ahas na, ahas to. Pero it's the prefrontal cortex which will say, nasa likod siya ng glass. Nasa loob pala, nasa zoo nga pala ako, naka-enclose ang mga ahas. Then, the prefrontal cortex will be the one. Whether you like it or not, you don't have to control this. It's the prefrontal cortex which will send signals to the amygdala to relax. It is chemical signals, electrical signals. It is the magic, the miracle of our brain. On its own, the prefrontal cortex, once you process the information na nasa likod siya ng glass, on its own, the prefrontal cortex will send signals to the amygdala to, hey, relax. Huwag kang magsisigaw at tumakbo ka agad dyan. Nasa loob ng glass. Are you making sense, guys? Hello? Are you following so far?
Yeah.
Not yet? Okay, let me explain further. So what happens? Saka palang magpapadala ang amygdala ng signal, ang brain ng signal to the rest of the body kung ano ang gagawin. Now, however, anong nangyayari sa emotional hijack? What happens in an emotional hijack? And this happens kapag you're in danger. Paano kung ang nakita mo na ahas, paglingon mo may ahas at wala siya sa loob ng glass? This is what happens in an emotional hijack. It's for survival. Sabi nga natin, the amygdala is for survival. Again, ulitin ko. So, here are examples. Normal brain process. Nakita mo yung tao, kinakainisan ko talaga to. Yung taong kinakainisan mo, may signal na kaagad sa amygdala mo kung normal brain process, yung inis mo sa kanya. Pero sabi ng prefrontal cortex mo, dahan-dahan lang, we're in a professional world. Kliyente mo to, kailangan mong kausapin. When your prefrontal cortex says that, kliyente mo to, ito ang magbibigay sa iyo ng sale, kailangan mo tong kausapin, it is the prefrontal cortex which will somehow calm down the amygdala. Right? Pero kung imagine na lang kung ang taong nakita mo isusuntukin ka na, hindi ka na mag-sinigawan ka, pagkakas ang pangit na pagkasigaw sa iyo, wala nang process ng prefrontal cortex yun. React si amygdala mo. And depende kung gaano ka ang nature mo, it can be that you stay away or you shout back or you also get angry, whatever you do. Diba? Parang ang sa sunog, diba? Yung sinabi nating before I tell you about the sunog. When I explained this, in one of the organizations, sabi ng isang participant, yan pala ang sinasabi ng tatay namin na think 10 times before doing anything. Napalingon ako sa kanya. Now, this person, confirmed by her office mates, na siya din yung parang Phineas Gage nila na kapag may conflict sa office, siya yung, guys, kalma tayo, let's talk about this. Siya yung taong yun. And it turns out, silang magkakapatid, ganon sila lahat. And it turns out, ang training nilang magkakapatid, ever since they were kids, before doing anything, think about it 10 times. Think about it 10 times. May gusto kang bilhin, yan lang ang pera mo, think about it 10 times. Nagalit ka, sinaktan ka ng kapatid mo, inagaw ang bola mo, think about it 10 times. Guys, yung think about it 10 times is let your prefrontal cortex process the information 10 times. Because not thinking about it 10 times, the amygdala think on its own. Bam, gusto kong bumili eh. Or bam, gusto kong lumaban eh. Or bam, gusto kong umiyak eh. Inis ako eh. Or bam, gusto kong tumawa kasi natawa ako, namahagalpak ako. But think about it 10 times is process it in your prefrontal cortex. Now, kaya nga di ba yung sinasabi natin na yung nagkasunog, nabuhat mo ang ref? Paano mo nabuhat ang ref? Di ko alam, basta di ko na alam anong nangyari, nagdilim ang paningin ko. Similar yun eh, yung di ko alam paano ko nabuhat ang ref, saka yung nakasakit ka, nagdilim ang paningin ko. Yung nagdilim ang paningin, hindi na nag-process si prefrontal cortex. Si amygdala lang ang kumilos. Now, what are we saying here? When we don't like change, when we are resistant to change, change na naman, hala, bakit ganyan nangyari? Ayokong gawin yan. Guys, it is our amygdala resisting. It is our amygdala which feels kasi si amygdala ang nakakaramdam ng pangit, ayoko yan, mahirap. Si amygdala yun. Di ba? Na ganito ang mga gagawin, mahirap nga yun, si prefrontal cortex yun, ano ang mga steps, sino ang mga magugulo, ano ang maapekto ng mga processes, si prefrontal cortex yon. Pero yung nainis ka, si amygdala yun. Or, ang ganda doon tayo lumipat na office, o kung maganda ang office, etc., etc., kung anong quality ng office, yung information doon, that's prefrontal cortex. Pero yung gustong-gusto mo siya, si amygdala yun. Now, how do we temper down amygdala? It is by running things through our prefrontal cortex, forcing the normal brain process. Think. Process things in your prefrontal cortex. Yung masyado mong pinipilit na pigilan si amygdala, actually, just run the information in your prefrontal cortex. Pag ginawa ko to, ganitong magiging effect. Pag ginawa ko to, mawawalan ako ng trabaho. Pag ginawa ko to, magagalit ang kliyente. Pag ginawa ko to, mawawala ang account na ito. Pag ginawa ko to, tatalubog ang budget ko, tatagilid ang budget ko. Ako rin mahirapan in the end. Keep running it in the prefrontal cortex because, guys, the miracle of our brain is the prefrontal cortex will send signals to your amygdala. And that is how we manage our amygdala. This is how we manage our resistance to change. Or this is how we manage our unreasonable excitement for change na baka naman hindi kailangan. This is where it happens. It's the amygdala which says, I want to do this. I don't want to do this. Information, cold information, it's in the prefrontal cortex. The warm reaction, whether you like it or you don't like it, it's in the amygdala. And only the prefrontal cortex can temper your amygdala. So if we understand that, here are the things that we can do. Arrest the impulse. Kung may pangit kang gustong gawin or may nag-kicking an impulse ni amygdala, arrest it. Stop for the moment. Okay, bago ka kumilos. Disengage distance. You might need to stay away muna kasi nandun yung, habang nakikita mong impulse na, nandun yung feeling eh. Then distract or overcome. You might want to look at other things to distract yourself. Deliberately breathe. Bakit breathe? Yung sinasabi nating take a deep breath slowly. Remember, bakit natin nararamdaman ang emotion sa ating chest? It is because when there is danger, one of the things that amygdala does is tell the heart to pump faster so that the blood can circulate faster, so that the adrenaline can also circulate faster in the body. Now, so dapat faster pumping ni heart. But when you deliberately breathe, slowly, deep breath, sabi ni heart, sandali, di ako makaarangkada, di ako makabeat fast. Napiprevent si amygdala sa gusto niyang mangyaring fast reaction mo, which could be the wrong reaction. Release that energy. Sometimes, if you really, really feel bad about that negative impulse, may natanggap kang pangit na balita, you might want to shout it out or to punch the wall. If it is a situation where you're very, very angry. But remember that the point is to release the energy, not to feed it. Baka nag-punch ka ng wall, tapos inisip mo pa lalo, hindi mo dinistract, hindi ka nag-disengage, inisip mo lalo yung kinaiinisan mo, then nag-punch ka na nag-punch, you are feeding the energy, then baka binalikan mo at naumbag mo yung tao. Now, it's releasing the energy is to release it while you are disengaged, detaching yourself from that impulse. Then, counter motor up with a positive action. Imbis na gusto mo na mag-punch, instead you calm your hands, and then instead na tumataas ang boses mo, you lower your voice. Ang mangyayari ngayon, nadidiktahan si amygdala mo to chill down and continue processing the information on your prefrontal cortex. And then only then should you act and respond appropriately. By the way, recognize your trigger points. Alam niyo bang paulit-ulit yung mga bagay na kinakainisan natin? Paulit-ulit din ang mga bagay na kinakatutuan natin. So kung alam mo nang nainis ka sa mga bagay na to, dapat kilala mo na sila, mag-prepare ka na ng set controls. Now, case in point, alam ko na ang kinakainisan ko talaga is long lines in the cashier sa grocery stores. Tapos nagkukwentuhan ang mga cashiers. So iniiwasan ko na talagang to go to the grocery stores during rush hours. But if I really need to go to the grocery store because I live alone and it happens to be a rush hour, I already tell myself, alam mo na rush hour to. There's going to be long lines. Tanggapin mo na siya. So pag nasa pila ako, nakikita ko nagkukwentuhan yung mga cashier, lalapitan ko. May set control na ako. Langga, mahaba ang pila. Pwedeng mamaya na muna ang kwentuhan natin, please. Sir, sorry po. So set controls na siya. Think about it. Yung mga paulit-ulit ng mga bagay na nangyayari in your life. Recognize them. Prepare set controls. Not just for anger, but also for unreasonable happy impulses like buying things which should not be part of the budget. Now, by the way, the interesting thing here, the more that you do this, the stronger the muscle becomes. The muscle of your prefrontal cortex, tempering your amygdala. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to cope in a fast world of business, in a world of VUCA. We need to flex, we need to adapt, and we need to be agile about it. Remember, the one who will survive is not necessarily the strongest nor the fittest, but the one who can adapt the soonest. That's AFA. Thank you very much. I hope that you have learned a lot from our very compact and short and fast session. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Sir Ron. Partners, if you have questions, feel free to use the chat window so we can ask our expert to address them. Sabi nga nila, Sir Ron, it is not the big that eats the small, it's the fast that eats the slow.
Indeed.
Especially, especially
Completely
during this time of the pandemic. Organizations really were forced to adopt resiliency measures to ensure continuity of the businesses.
Sabi nga natin, sir, di ba? It's not about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward.
Yeah. Okay, sir, may tanong ako. How do you train your brain such that there is a balance between prefrontal cortex and amygdala? Because hindi naman siguro tama, no, that we have kailangan i-suppress natin lagi si amygdala.
Yes, you are correct on that note, sir. The aim is not to suppress the amygdala. It is to temper, to regulate the amygdala.
Okay.
And how do you train your brain? The repeated process of just going with your prefrontal cortex, the information, walking through the information. Sino ang involved? Anong mangyayari? Ano ang magiging effect? Ano ang negative effect? Ano ang good effect? Just by processing those informations, do you want that effect? Do you want that? Okay, if yes, so what do you need to do? If no, so what do you need to do? Just by talking through this information repeatedly in your brain, and on its own, the prefrontal cortex will temper, will regulate the amygdala. Now, the more that you do this in your everyday life, professionally and personally, the muscle gets stronger. So
this areas of the brain are trainable or tameable naman, ano?
Yes. Yun nga po yung kwento nung isang participant. Yung pala sinasabi ng nanay ko, it's really there all along, the wisdom of the old folks. Think 10 times. Yung think 10 times na yun, actually it's the prefrontal cortex. Kasi ang amygdala natin is the non-thinking brain, it's the feeling brain. So it's the thinking part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. Just run the information there.
Ako, I personally admire individuals who are able to control their emotions, who are so soft-spoken in the midst of crisis. They remain calm and composed.
Sir, may note lang ako dyan, sir, ha? One thing, there's a big error, a big mistake in the understanding of emotional intelligence. Yung parang you have to be soft-spoken, hindi ka na marunong magalit. No. There are times na kailangan mo magalit kasi inaabuso na o maabuso ng mga kailangan maramdam na may mali, hindi na tama yan. And that is necessary. Kaya nga ang quote sa first page ng book ni Daniel Goleman, Emotional Intelligence, is this: to be angry is easy enough. That's not emotional intelligence. But to be angry at the right time, at the right person, and only at the right degree, and only at the right place, now that is different. And many years after Aristotle's death, the word was coined. That's emotional intelligence. Alam mo yung may mga taong abusado halimbawa sa around you, lagi na lang nag-aabusar. At certain point, you need to say, enough. That is not correct. We need to stop this. You also need that right degree of anger, right degree of force, right degree of asserting. Yes. If in country to country, kung ginigera ka na, you have to show some force. Are you showing the right kind of force at the right place, at the right degree? Yes. That is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, you are correct with what you said at the very start. It's not about suppressing and killing the amygdala. Because then you will become the lawyer who has no feeling. Knows the food. Anong gusto mo kainin? Wala. Knows all the beautiful places. Saan mo gusto pumunta? Can't decide. Dead amygdala. And that's not a good life.
Yeah.
Sinusuntok ka na pala, inaabusa ka na. Wala. Walang galit.
But it's good to know that these aspects of the human brain are trainable, no? And
yes,
that we cannot expect change overnight, no? Yeah. So I'd say it's a long life process, a lifelong process rather.
Yes. Yes, sir. But the interesting thing really is IQ does not change. Kung anong IQ mo nung bata ka pa hanggang ngayon, that's the same. EQ changes. The emotional muscle gets stronger by practice.
Okay, Sir Celso, you have any questions?
Just a comment, not a question, Mao. But
okay.
Yeah, I learned a lot today. I suspect, Mao, that Ron is not just a very good speaker. He's also a neurologist. So I learned something about the brain this morning. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much.
Actually, this is a new take, no, because there is a scientific, component of his Sir Ron's talk, no, yeah. We are familiar with amygdala, but I'm not aware that kaya pala may mga emotional burst minsan ang isang tao dahil mas active ang amygdala. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so napakagandang discussion, no? I hope we all learned something from Sir Ron today, and tamang-tama nga sabi nung binasa ko kanina. So we are going to discuss the emotional component of this three battle cry of pandemic, no? Be agile, flexible, and be adaptive. Okay, so my God, this is the first talk na wala tayong tanong. Sobrang hindi, sobrang ano kasi, sobrang engaging, no? At ramdam ko yung emotions ni Sir Ron. Do you agree with me, Miss the 3 big C's?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
I actually
Yeah.
messaged in the chat box. So it's a great talk, Ron. We learned so much, made us aware of our, amygdala and our prefrontal cortex and what it does for us in our decisioning.
So pag may mag-comment na sa'yo, Jem, dapat ang una mong sasabihin, amygdala.
Huwag mo i-challenge amygdala ko.
Sabi ko,
Challenge
si
my
amygdala
amygdala.
yan, ha? Okay.
Sabi ko,
So, yan.
excuse me, give me a moment. You're
it-
challenging my amygdala.
Kasi dapat sabihin natin, I love you with all of my amygdala. Don't make my
Yes.
amygdala hate you.
Yes. So meron na tayong opening line lagi, ano. Ayan na naman, pinakawalan mo na naman si amygdala. Dapat paminsan-minsan itatali mo si amygdala.
So
Okay,
gawa na tayo
next.
ng
Ano
character
yun,
mo
sir?
na
Nakabili
amygdala
ng
ang
ano?
name. Sorry.
Sir Ron, yes. As you're
Bumili
saying.
na naman ng mga hindi dapat binili.
Yes.
Pinakawalan
yeah.
si amygdala.
Pinakawalan si amygdala. Napakagandang usapan. Thank you so much, Sir Ron, for your time. Partners, marami pa tayong motivational Mondays, and this is I'm sure this is not going to be the first and last talk with Sir Ron. Sabi niya nga kanina, he tried to compress a one-day talk to a 45-minute talk time. So imagine yung challenge. Imagine yung challenge niya dyan. No? Ang daming pwedeng pag-usapan, but it's just that we have very limited time. So let's have a second round of discussion again, Sir Celso with Sir Ron. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and have a great day or great week ahead.
Again, thank you, partners, for joining us this morning. Hope you learned a lot. And please anticipate our invite for the, as Precious mentioned, now we have 3 upcoming face-to-face events in May. And then, of course, with People Ignite again in the in the next 4 months, because we have 5 topics with them. So watch out for the invite. And looking forward to see you face-to-face soon. Thank
Sir
you.
Celso, magpaano ka naman?
Have a good day.
Magpa-bootcamp ka na? Magpa-resort na tayo, di ba? Di ba, Jem?
Pwede.
Gusto na ng mga partners natin mag-swimming.
Pwede. May niluluto na si Precious Gem dyan. Kasi
Okay,
magluto yan.
Nice, yes. Kasi nami-miss ko na yung mga bootcamp natin. Ang dami
Yes,
natin mga
mag-swimming tayo.
Yes. Alright, so thank you so much.
Don't forget si amygdala, ha?
Yes. Wag buhayin si amygdala. Okay, so thanks so much, Sir Ron.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Ron.
lot.
Thank you,
Thanks a
People
lot,
Ignite.
partners.
Thank you, partners.
Bye for now.